Alright guys, I don't have my webcam on right now, but I will just do this and then I'll get my webcam back on for the rest of the video. But we're gonna be doing day 44, and for day 44 I do want to find a way to get a cool character. So we're gonna be using ChatGPT and we're gonna spin. I pretty much can't spin. I'm gonna tell ChatGPT the prompt and hopefully it gives me one character. It doesn't really make sense to add it right now, but it should give me one character. From one anime character that's a girl from an anime. That's what we want that we can draw in the next video. Alright, I'm gonna ask a question and see if what it gives me as a character. Hopefully someone. Alright, power. A bit generic. Maybe we should do it again. One more. There we are. Why is it only giving me Chainsaw Man? I was just gonna ask you, so not done. Change. Okay, there we are. Alright, we're gonna draw her from Demon Slayer. I know which one. The character with the butterflies, I'm pretty sure it is. But they have a flipping. We're gonna be drawing her from Demon Slayer, so let's see how that goes in day 43. Also, as I said in my last video, and I'm gonna say it again, if you guys want me to draw any of your characters, just tell me in the description, or I mean in the comments. Send me a comment saying what character you want me to draw next, and I'll do it in the next video. Hopefully we can get a couple of lists of random characters so we have more options, so I can do more options in videos like we did back in the day. I want to restart that thing where I ask you guys and you guys give me characters ideas and I just use the characters. It can be from pretty much any anime, and that's any character, mostly being girls. Mostly I try to draw more girls. I'm being more to girls, but if you want, you can send me both dudes and girls. Any character you want me to maybe draw from any anime, you can send it in the comments and I'll make sure to I'll consider it as an option to my next video, and you're gonna get a little shout out with the comment on the screen as well. Alright, this is where I started removing the guidelines of the head, and I start working on I'm still working a bit on the face, trying to figure out where I want the mouth and like things to go. But here's where I started like working on the neck and started working on where I want how I want the body to look like. I kind of just make like shapes in the pattern, or in the pattern. I'll just make shapes and then figure out where everything gets placed by the shapes and kind of use them as a guideline for the drawing. And that's kind of how I pretty much do it. And yeah, it's kind of the strategy that I kind of conjured. It is to just like do kind of quick shapes, adjust the size and stuff with the tools that I have on Clip Studio, and then just kind of do some shapes and getting like things in place kind of. And if I have to modify stuff and move stuff around, I'll just modify stuff and move stuff around. If I find stuff to not be how I want them to be placed or stuff like that, I would just move them around. and fix stuff right like that. The drawing specifically is not the best piece of art that I've made. I have a couple like things that when I look at it, I'm like, I could have like improved better. I could have done more better stuff for it. But it's not the worst. It's not the best. It's like a decent piece of art that I made. It's not like my favorite art piece of all time or anything. I'm trying to like practice more doing my drawings, like practicing more of my characters, like head proportions and stuff. So I mean, most of it was just that. I didn't really like work too much on like the body to like a crazy amount. I did add a lot. I did add the colors and stuff as well later on when you're gonna see it through, and it did turn out alright. I don't know. I feel like the drawing isn't my favorite piece that I ever made, as I said. I think the original one that I had in my sketchbook, if you go back to my channel from my video, I have another drawing of this character that I've done a while back, and I personally liked him more. I think it would turn out better. I also like that I've kind of learned how to use the tools more of my on Clip Studio. I used to not really use many of the tools that I had at my disposal when I used to draw at the very start of using Clip Studio. I had the problem of not really using my tools that much, but now I kind of like learned the techniques and stuff, so I kind of started using them more and yeah, you can see throughout that I kind of like learned kind of idea on a strategy to kind of use the tools more efficiently. But yeah, this is pretty much what how I started doing the body and stuff. I'm gonna go through the coloring process now and throughout like everything else as well for it, and the thing that I struggled with the most. Low-key, the thing that I struggled the most with is definitely the hands and like the head. I even at the start it took me a while to figure out what I wanted. Also, I had a couple attempts. It's like I did like a decent amount of attempts at trying to get this down, and yeah, I was pissed as well at the start. I don't know why. Like I kind of annoyed me. Like I had to like I restarted like 4 times, and I was like, bro, like what's happening? Like this is the day that I'm gonna not do decent, because I'm trying to do decent art pieces. I'm not just trying to show you guys like the trash. So there's days that you're gonna suck at, and I learned that a lot through doing 100 days. That there's gonna be days that it's gonna look like doo-doo. And yeah, it was one of those days that my looked like doo-doo, and I was like doing it and hoping that it's gonna look decent. It ended up looking decent. As I said, it's not my favorite piece of art that I've conjured or ever made, but it's somewhat coherent, somewhat decent, I guess. It's not the best, as I said, and I need to be working on it more. But looking, practicing, it's pretty decent. For practicing, it's pretty decent. I'm trying to implement the guidelines more. They might mess me up a lot to get used, until I get used to the technique and kind of remember how I used to do them as well. Because actually, you do the guidelines all the time. Back in the day, back when I started the channel, I did use the guidelines pretty much on every single drawing. But now I kind of lacking. I haven't been really using it, and you can see through it that I kind of don't use it as much throughout my other videos. I do want to get back into the groove of using it again, into the pattern of using the guidelines again. And yeah, I'm trying to redo the guidelines and trying to regain the ability to use the guidelines again, and hopefully you guys can see that it's kind of working-ish. I don't know, it's not my favorite drawing, as I said, but I'm gonna try my best to figure out how I can do the guidelines in my way of doing them. And yeah, this is what we have so far, and I'm mostly waffling, explaining why I'm like done it this way and things that I kind of struggle with. The hands were a pain. You can even see them in this, that it's kind of a pain as I go through it. Like it took a while to get them done, but yeah, pretty much the 2 things that I would say that I struggled the most in the specific drawings are the hands and the head. Took me a very long time, and yeah, let's go straight into the next portion, which is probably gonna be the coloring. All right, here's the coloring that I worked on. I did use the background gray because I feel like it's the best way for me personally to start coloring. It doesn't look great at the very start because I haven't added all the details and stuff, and it does turn out way better as I add more colors in and add more details to the eyes and stuff like that. It does have a more lively look to it, and you guys would be able to tell as well throughout that it does turn out way better when I add more stuff. But if you go through it at the start, it does look a bit like a horror movie character with the color lines and stuff. But it does turn out better as I go through more details and stuff through it. It does go better as I conjure more. It does get better as I add more colors to it, and you can also see through it that it does have a better color variation, and it looks much more neat and nice as we go through the drawing. And yeah, I add more details. It does turn out decent. It's not, as I said, it's not my favorite piece of artwork. I could have probably worked more on the shadows. Now that I consider it, I didn't really work that much on it. The drawing has more dynamic look to it because of the shadows. Mine didn't look as dynamic. Mine looked more like made of, I don't know, it just doesn't look that good. Low-key, I don't know. Looking back at it, it doesn't look that the best, and I would work a lot more on it, I think, if I was doing it again. And yeah, there's a bunch of mistakes that I see that I've made, and I hopefully do start fixing them, which, looking at the end piece, it does look a bit better when it's all done together, all the colors and everything put all nicely together, and the clothes being colored in and stuff. Yeah, so this sequence that I'm doing now is going to be mostly just colors. If you didn't realize from the start of it, it's going to be just me coloring the head, and then going through me coloring the outfit, and then pretty much coloring everything else, like the sword and stuff like that. It's all going to be this part, and then the end is going to be showing me showing you the end result and talking about the end piece and my end, what I learned from it at the end and stuff like that. So we're gonna go for that. Pretty much, the head was a pain, as I said, even in my other portion. I did say that it was really hard to draw, and it still is pretty bad. Even in here, like it took so long, and it still looked really bad. Also, the hair was a pain to color in, because looking at the reference image is really like painted in. It looks really neat, and like every color seems to be like put in the right place. I don't know what happened with me, like in this specific drawing. I didn't have as much patience as I had with other pieces, because I was kind of struggling with it, so I just didn't give it as much thought into it. So you can see that I've made a lot of mistakes, and I tried to improvise a lot, and it didn't turn out the way I envisioned it to turn out. It kind of turned out like alright, like it didn't turn out the greatest thing. And you can see through it that I did mess up a lot, and I did have a bit of a pain and hardship trying to figure out what I wanted to do with it, and it didn't turn out the way I envisioned it and the way I wanted it to specifically turn out. And you can see through it that it's a bit of a mess with colors and stuff, but I tried my best with the clothes as well. I also struggled with doing the lines that she has in the clothes. I didn't really add a lot of time to it, and that's the problem that I see that I had the most with, is not adding enough time to my piece, and overall just giving it more space and time to work on it working on the small details and adding more like fine details and stuff like that. So yeah, that's my biggest regret so far through it. I feel like I should have given it a bigger shot and added more details to it. Alright guys, the end result, what I personally seen and like talking about it, and now we're gonna go for like the full thing and talk about my thoughts on it fully. Yeah, I still had fun, even though, like, in my opinion, it wasn't my favorite piece of art that I've made, but I still enjoyed working on it. I still enjoyed practicing, figuring out coloring and stuff like that. This one, as I said, it doesn't feel like I put enough time and effort into it, which it is kind of how it happened. I did try my hardest with it. I feel like I was stressing out a lot on it, and I had a bit of I couldn't really draw well. Let me just be honest. I couldn't really draw out this specific drawing. I had like a bit of lackluster start, and I didn't really like how it turned out at the very start. And I like improvised and made like 4 different pieces, and none of them turned out the way I liked them. And because of that, I kind of didn't really feel like it was gonna work out, and then it did. So It was all part. It was all stud like figuring out what I wanted to do with it. It wasn't like it's not my greatest piece, as I said, but it's not my worst piece either. I still think it turned out pretty decent. It's decently dynamic, I guess you could say. It's not like perfect, never the mean, but that's like the part of art where it's like nothing really is perfect in general anyway. So it doesn't really bother me too much, but I feel like it turned out alright. I don't know about it. You guys can tell me in the comments what you think. I'm really like I'm my worst enemy, as you say. So like theoretically speaking, I judge myself with really high standards, and that's probably why I think it's not my best work. But you guys might figure out differently and have a different opinion about it. I did try to add the shadows that like the blurry shadow that it has in the drawing reference, but I just couldn't make it work well, and I just left it how it was, just like soften it with a blender tool, but it didn't work out. But pretty much this is the end result. I'll stop waffling about it. This is the end result. And yeah, if you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. We are trying to hit 2K subscribers, so if you guys liked what you actually see in this video, please make sure you drop a like. And yeah, I'm gonna be working on my next piece. I'm gonna be streaming on Thursday, so I hope I see you guys on Thursday. I mean, this video is gonna be posted literally before I'm probably gonna be streaming after this video, or around this time, the day that this video is being posted, so you guys are gonna see it all together. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning into this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys yeah, I mean, if you guys want to, you can send me in the comments a reference image, or a reference image, a character that you want me to draw. In my next one, I will be looking in the comments, and if you guys have any comments or any character you would like me to draw, I will be down. I mostly draw waifus, so if you guys give me like a character that's a girl, I'll be more willing to draw it. But if it's a dude as well, I wouldn't mind drawing like a Goku, whatever you guys want me to. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So thank you, peace out. Thank you guys for watching day 44 of my drawing digitally. Alright, thank you guys for tuning in.